This is 2.6, writing ratios and proportions. So a ratio is a comparison of two numbers by dividing. Sorry, I had to think about how to spell that. So for example, you could write that as A colon B, A 2B, or A divided by B. Okay, so common ratios that we probably see in real world is like boys to girl ratio, or dogs to cat ratio, teacher to student ratios. Those are all common ratios that we see in our daily lives. So a proportion is two ratios that are equal to each other. So if I had like 2/4 equaling 5/10, well, 2/4 is 1/2 and 5/10 is 1/2. So these both do equal the same thing. Simplest form is if I had like 3/6, and if I were to write that in the simplest form, it would be 1/2. It's that smallest fraction possible, or the smallest ratio possible. Okay, so then if we're talking about some volleyball players and teams, so a volleyball team is playing 14 home matches and 10 away matches. So the first one, it wants us to find the ratio of home matches to away matches. So that would be 14 to 10. Okay, so these are my home, these are my away. I could also write it as 14 to 10, or 14 divided by 10. For B, it says find the ratio of home matches to all matches. So with this one, we now have home matches, which is still 14, but then I need to find all the matches. Well, I have 14 home matches and 10 away matches, so that means I'm playing a total of 24 matches. So it'd be 14 to 24, 14 to 24, and 14 divided by 24. Okay, so I want you to try out number 2 by yourself, and then once you have your answer, you can push play again and see if you got the correct answer. Okay, so Derek and his brother decided to combine their CD collection. Derek has 44 CDs and his brother has 52 CDs. Find the specified ratio. Okay, so the number of Derek's CDs to the number of his brothers. So Derek has 44 and his brother has 52. So that'd be 44 to 52, or 44 to 52. Okay. So then for B, it says the number of Derek's CDs to the number of CDs in the entire collection. So Derek's CDs, we have 44 again. His entire collection this time, well, we know he has 44 and we know his brother has 52, so that would give us 96. So it would be 44 to 96, 44 to 96, or 44 to 96. Okay. So now let's learn how to solve proportions. So last year you probably learned something called cross multiplication. So this is where I'm going to take the denominator on one term and the numerator on the other ratio. We're going to multiply those. So it'd be 6 times x. And then I'm going to take the other numerator and multiply it by the other denominator. So that would be 11 times 30. Okay. So then this would give me 6x equaling 330. I would divide by 6. This would give me x equaling 55. Okay, so then I have w times 7 equaling 35 times 4. Okay, so then I would have 7w equals 140. Divide by 7. W would equal 20. All right, now I want you to pause it and try out C and D. once you're ready, you can press play and see if you got the correct answer. Okay, so I would have 2m equaling 9 times 12. So then this would give me 2m equaling 108. I would then divide by 2. So m would equal, sorry, I don't know if you can see that, 54. Okay. Next one, I'm going to have 9 times z equaling 54 times 5. So then I would have 9 times z equaling 270. I would divide by 9, and that would give me z equaling 30. Okay, so now we need to learn how to set up a proportion and then be able to solve from that. So a recipe for tomato salsa calls for 30 tomatoes and makes 12 pints of salsa. How many tomatoes are needed to make 4 pints of salsa? So the first thing we're talking about is tomatoes and then the pints. So I have tomatoes and I have pints. Okay, so with my tomatoes, my first one I have 30 tomatoes, and that makes 12 pints. Okay. So then it says how many tomatoes are needed to make 4 pints. So now the 4, we're talking about pints, so that's going to go on my denominator. And then we have x. Okay, and then we could solve for x from there. Okay, what if though I were to say, okay, I want the pints on top and the tomatoes on bottom. So I would have 12 pints is needed for 30 tomatoes, and then my pints would be 4 and x. Is there a difference? What I want you to do is solve for x for both of these and then see what we get from there. Okay. Oh, you getting that? Alright, so from here, we would do 12x equaling 30 times 4. Sorry about that. So I'm going to have 12x equaling 120. So then 120 divided by 12 is 10. So x would equal 10. Okay, so then we come over here. I'm going to have 30 times 4 equaling 12x. Divided by, 30 divided by 4. Or 30 times 4. Ooh, struggling. Is going to equal 12x. I would divide by 12, divide by 12. So once again, 10 would equal x. So it doesn't matter which way you are setting that proportion up. Okay, so then we're going to be talking about some word problems. So it says the elevator that takes passengers from the lobby of the John Hancock Center in Chicago to the observation level travels 150 feet in 5 seconds. The observation level is located on the 94th floor at 109 feet above the ground. Okay, so then find the time it takes for the elevator to travel from the lobby to the observation level. Okay, so first thing we know, we have time and we have floor or level or whatever you want to say there. Or we'll say feet. Okay, so for my first one, I traveled 5 seconds and 150 feet. Second one, I'm traveling, it gives me feet again, so it's going to be 1,029, and then we're going to have x. Okay, so then I'm going to have 150x equaling 5 times 1,029. Okay, so this will give me 150x equaling 5,145. Divide by 150. X would equal 34.3, and then because we are talking about time or a word problem, we do need a label, so it would be seconds. Okay, I want you to try, we'll do C. Okay, so when 2 full moons appear in the same month, the second full moon is called a blue moon. On average, 2 blue moons occur every 5 years. So we're gonna have the moons and then the years. Okay, so I have two blue moons for the 5 years. And it says find the number of blue moons that are likely to occur in the next 25 years. So we have 25 years, so the years has to go bottom. We're gonna solve for x. So cross multiply, I'd have 5x equaling 25 times 2. This would give me 5x equaling 50. I would then divide by 5. X would equal 25, and then label blue moons.